Hello and welcome to the Take 3 podcast.
That really got me. That really took me by
That was the
surprise.
most energetic intro ever.
I can't read a room right now.
Before clicking record, we were all so down. As soon as that button went on, it's like a switch and I got it.
I've got multiple personality disorder where this personality is Zoom personality.
That's the best intro. We're going to keep that every single one.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Three People Try and Work Out Zoom.
We've got a bet going on with the face recordings, which will be interesting.
We have what technical difficulties, technical differences. We have
technical differences, disagreement, and then complete silence, and then kind of screaming down the mic. Welcome everyone. It was a roller coaster.
Not to give you too much of a peek behind the camera of what goes on in the production side, but
so episode 4. What are we recasting today, Will?
We're recasting what we aspire to be, friends. We've been trying so hard for so many years. The beloved, or certainly used to be beloved, now controversial for whatever reason, beloved sitcom Friends. Ran for 10 years, was huge. They were the biggest stars when it was out, and we've decided to cast new stars in their place, as if Friends was being made now, even though it would not be made now.
Is it controversial now?
Well, when it got put on Netflix, the next generation watched it and were like, Chandler's a homophobe, and things to do with
I know what you mean. Yeah.
There are because it was of its time, and at that time it was considered funny jokes to be like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah. I get it. Oh,
that makes sense. And this is the one where the phrase "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" come to mind. You know, this one. I don't know about you guys, but I found this one really difficult. Like this one was by far the hardest one I've done. I think there's like 3 things. The first thing is I think I've ran out of actors officially on episode 4.
You lasted longer than I thought.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I've really scraped the bottom of the barrel this time.
Connor's retirement from the podcast.
It might have to be. And then the next thing is how young you have to cast them, because they were like 25 on the pilot episode, right?
I had to scrap that right out the window.
Well, yeah, I've
everybody gone for is about 30 to 35 in my
life. I've gone for like an actor's 25.
Liv's gone loose with age. That's insane.
Surprise. Because all my film knowledge comes from when I lived with you guys, and now that I haven't, like the people who were young actors are now 30-year-old actors.
Just to clarify, we didn't kick him out or anything. We lived together at uni, and then we moved on with our lives.
They sent me back to Wales.
It wasn't like we voted him out.
And Will forced us to watch every film and show under the sun, so that's where.
Well, hang on. From my perspective, you both made me watch films.
Yeah,
I didn't make you watch films.
Well, we did watch films either.
I did. I made you watch films when we lived together in the good times before we knew this loser, and then when we lived with him, he forced us to watch films.
I definitely remember we made a list for each other of things to watch.
Yeah. I don't remember this. I remember doing that with
take
books.
It in turns. We did it with books as well, but we would take it in turns because we tended to watch like a movie or something on a Saturday or Sunday night.
Jeez, we spent a lot of time together. I'm just realizing that now.
I didn't watch a single other film after we stopped living together.
What was the last film you watched?
What was the last film I watched?
What did we make you watch?
What was the last film you made me watch?
Yeah, I feel like I haven't made you watch that much.
You got me to watch the bird watching film, the big
The Big Year.
The Big Year. That was the last one.
What a fun movie.
That was such a good movie. We're gonna have to recast that one. That one actually deserves like a remake or some kind. I'm really joking. I've obviously watched films. I can't remember what the last film I watched was. Oh, I watched X-Men Rise of Apocalypse last.
No, that's not the last film you watched.
It was.
Oh, did you watch it like? I thought you meant like you went to the cinema because that came out
Oh
like
no.
4 years ago.
Oh
and
no,
then
no.
you haven't been back.
The last time I went to the cinema was definitely pre-pandemic. I can't remember that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's not because like I won't go, but like
Yeah.
because I just haven't like
Mm.
I've realized that I haven't been since then.
The moment the
Spider-Man for
cinemas
me.
open, I was like, I gotta get there. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, I gotta get. Oh, it's Free Guy. I think that's what I watched.
Oh, I've
Oh,
watched
sure.
that, but not at the
Yeah.
cinema. Yeah.
Because it's on
Mhm.
Disney Plus. Didn't.
Yeah, I watched it and then they added it like 2 days later. But I love me going to the cinema. It's fun. Good cinema trip.
It's one of those activities that's actually like quite all right to do by yourself.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's
happily
not.
go by myself.
Yeah. Because it's not like you're supposed to sit there and talk anyway. So you just go enjoy
Although
the movie. And...
I really like, obviously, watching Disney and Pixar films. I don't go to my own on those because that's just creepy.
Yeah.
It comes off super weird. I did it once
movie.
and I saw parents looking at me and I thought I look really strange. I'm not doing this again.
I did it when I was in America. I had a day off from work and I was just on my own. So I went to the cinema. I went to watch Secret Life of Pets. And honestly, the looks I got.
I don't think how dark that was.
just in this like upped like
Was that the summer where you had a really long beard and no mustache?
Yep.
Wow. Oh no,
Yeah.
it's the multi-beard.
Same
It's
summer
the
where
two-beard.
I
I
didn't
bet you
shave.
looked non-threatening at the cinema with that
No.
look.
When the guy, when the 6'5" guy with the long beard with the parting in it comes into the cinema, grab your kid and run. Get out
And
of
like
there.
it wasn't even like I'd not that I would go to the cinema, but it's not like I dressed up because camp, such long days, or like you always just looked grubby. And so I went to the cinema and I looked like a right mess. And I don't think they would have been scared of me. I think they might have thought I was having some sort of emotional breakdown. And
Yeah.
I just found myself in Secret Life of Pets.
And there's like
Especially-
no way to turn to someone and explain, because you're in the cinema, you're not going to turn
No.
around and go, I'm a camp counselor. They'd be like, okay. Like,
It's okay. I work with
I'm
kids.
not going to turn around to somebody with their kids and go, I'm an animator. It's okay. They're going to be like, oh, she crazy. Comes off
I've never been to the cinema on my own. I think it's because if I'm ever on my
Mm.
own in London or Cardiff or whatever, like I just do like a little tour of all the restaurants and just those are like side dishes. That's like my
Sure.
go-to,
I never bought a ticket to Wingfest. I need to buy one. I completely
Oh
forgot.
yeah, you do. Yeah.
It's because
yeah.
I didn't
Hopefully
have my
that's what you
card on me.
remembered.
Well, food, Connor.
Chicken and Connor. I ate chicken the other day and I thought of you, Connor.
Really?
I had it.
Yeah.
I ate some chicken wings and I was like, Connor.
Can we have like a wing segment on this podcast? We're clearly never getting into this.
Connor's mystery wing.
Yeah, I finally tried Wingstop for the first time.
Do you like it?
Yeah, so I was trying
Right.
to compare it to Slim Chickens. I don't know if it's as good as Slim Chickens, but yeah, I rate it. I think it's really good.
I
And
don't know
I
what
got it in
Slim
London
Chickens is.
and compared.
Wait, which one did you go to?
I got Deliveroo.
Oh, was that
Yeah.
You get Deliveroo?
in London?
In London. I was in London.
Oh, when you're in London, I assume.
Yeah, here, no way. And I
No,
don't think there is a Wingstop in Wales anyway. So, yeah.
There's one in
Right.
Manchester city centre, but it's too far away from
Yeah,
me.
there's one like most big
There-
cities, I think.
There was one in Reading when I lived there. But
I
don't
keep
think there's one
forgetting
here.
you don't live in Reading. Like that's just yeah.
Right, shall
should
we
we-
get into it?
yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's cast some
Good.
people.
Okay, so the first one then is Rachel. So, Liv, can I ask you who you had for Rachel, played by Jennifer Aniston?
Okay.
I wonder if you have the same as me. I have a feeling. I don't know, but I have a feeling. But go.
I don't think I do. So
Okay.
I was between two. And it really depends on who is picked as Ross, but I was between I like Shay Mitchell or Margot Robbie, and I could see both of those. And I can tell by Will's face he sees it too, but I think I am going to go with Shay Mitchell. I think she'd work with that if you guys have seen her, she's in the Netflix show You. She plays Peaches.
Mhm.
She's played that. I mean, and apparently is it Pretty Little Lies? Yeah, I mean, she's
Yeah.
beautiful, and she plays that entitled sort of princess before, and I can see her as the role.
Yeah, because it's not just the whole beautiful princess like spoiled that it is at the start, because
Yeah,
Rachel's probably the one that goes on the most journey in terms of by
yeah,
season 10 she's very businesslike, she's mature, she's grown up, and I think she could do that as well.
yeah. She's really good. I saw her in a film. I can't remember the name of it, but she played that sort of down to earth, lovely type of girl. So I think she'd be a really nice transition. Like I said, Margot Robbie was my other option, but she's just such a huge actor, and I was a bit. She's younger than everyone else I picked, so I just didn't know if she'd fit with the cast.
Sure.
Because
That's a good
surprisingly,
choice.
she's 34 and she didn't look it at all.
Who Shay Mitchell is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Will, who did you pick?
So I can't remember if we talked about this on the podcast or before, but you guys were saying how you were struggling with 20s, so you kind of, but I've kind of stuck to high 20s, low 30s. So age kind of
there as well.
I guess needs to go out the window a bit in terms of thinking about, is he too young for her, whatever. But I've gone for Emma Roberts, just because I think she can do the whole. I imagine her doing, I'm a shoe. Okay, fine, I'm a hat. No, I don't want a hat. And then I can also see a kind of, again, I was thinking about that progression. I think she could do the more business side as she moves through the show.
Yeah, she's good. Good choice.
I don't know why I didn't cast her, actually. I kept seeing her, but I didn't. Yeah. Shall I go?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, so I can't explain this one, guys, because Rachel was the last one I thought of, and I just wanted to shoot myself at that point, so I just kind of went with one. So I have picked, for no reason other than I was like just Googling actresses that I knew, YouTubing them, see what their acting was like, and just trying to pick one that kind of just seemed like Rachel, and I picked Selena Gomez. That's all I got, really. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was just like trying to find one, and I kind of just settled. So.
You know, though, it's not a terrible pick. Like,
No.
I could see her in the role. Yeah, it's not a bad pick.
Interesting enough, I could, when you said it, I thought of her in Only Murders in the Building and in a couple of other films I've seen her in. And I can see her more as a Phoebe. I'm not saying should, but because she does like playing that slightly weirder character. But no, it's a perfectly good shout for Rachel for sure.
Cool. I'll take it then. Yeah. So the question is, who are we picking out of these three? Can I tell you what I think?
Oh yeah, go for it.
I'm leaning towards Emma Roberts because I can see her in the role, and I'm worried about getting swept away with a bunch of 40-year-olds if we pick Livs, personally.
What?
Whoa. That went somewhere I did not expect.
There we go. I like Emma Roberts, but she feels like, you know, when I picked Kevin Hart and you guys were like, he's a safe choice. Emma Roberts feels like the safe choice for Rachel.
Yeah, I'd give you that.
That's fair.
Well,
I mean, I obviously do like Emma Roberts. With Shay Mitchell, I've only seen her in You. I don't think I've seen her in anything else. I didn't watch Pretty Little Lies, and I don't think I've seen her in a movie.
I've not seen Pretty Little Lies.
So I can't really comment on it, other than what I saw of her. I think she could do a good job. Selena Gomez, I don't think is quite right for Rachel. I'm happy to go with Shay Mitchell or Emma Roberts.
Connor, you can pick.
Well, hang on. So we'll think about these two.
Yeah.
Liv, you want her, and
I can just see it really. Yeah.
I think Will needs to call the decision, right?
Oh.
I'm
literally not going to judge you if you pick your own. If you genuinely think she's
no.
for it.
I was literally about to say I think let's go Shay Mitchell because I think
Which one's
Other
Shane
side,
Mitchell?
I'm winner.
on our
On the thing that says actor, Connor, on the other side.
Oh
of the screen.
yes, you're right.
There we go.
I remember how this worked.
Yeah, I just think Shay Mitchell because it's a bit different. I think she could really make the role her own. Not saying Emma Roberts couldn't.
But
I
what I
can't
will
see her.
say, she has to work with Ross. So depending who we pick with Ross, we
Yeah.
might change Rachel.
Yeah, we could always come back.
Because she doesn't work with my Ross. I hope you guys have a Ross that works.
Uh-oh. I can tell you now I don't. So I'm excited to get to that part.
Well, it's all on you.
Not so sure.
No. The only thing is, my Ross works with your Rachel.
we're gonna have to see how this all
I have
turns
to
out.
change her.
Right, let's move on to Ross, shall we?
Okay.
Originally played by David Schwimmer, brother to Monica, so got to think about that as well. And Rachel's
I did think about
interest
this.
throughout the whole thing. I went for Will Poulter.
Will Poulter. Why do I know? Wait, don't tell me. Is he the guy from We Are the Millers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it was funny because they were the first two I thought of. So it was like both from We're the Millers, Emma Roberts and Will Poulter, where they play brother and sister.
Yeah.
Well, no, pretend brother and sister.
Sort of brother. Yeah.
And I just,
He's a
I
good
don't
actor.
know. He's a good actor. He can play that slightly nerdy, and he can play like crazy. He can play like angry.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's a good choice.
So yeah, he was kind of what I leant towards.
You know what I've done? I've like, whenever we've picked someone in the past, I've like taken them out off the list. I think that's why I didn't want to go for Emma Roberts and I didn't go for Will Poulter there. For some reason in my head, I just thought, oh, we've used them before, so I'm not.
Because you've done it once. Don't do it again.
I made it way more difficult than I had to be.
Oh yeah, I brought back people. I've got people on my list here that I've had before.
Yeah, I'm playing hard mode over here, and there's no reason why.
Considering you're the one that's the beginner.
This is where he submits Adam Driver for every role.
Liv, what did you pick?
Okay, so for me, I chose Max Minghella, who plays Nick in The Handmaid's Tale. Just because he works well with who I had for my Monica. I couldn't fully see him as Ross, but I was struggling to pick someone. I could see him playing that sort of nerdy person, but I couldn't see him playing the crazy comical. So I wasn't really happy with my choice, but yeah, sure, that's his name.
What's his name?
Max Minghella. Do you want me to type it in the chat? Would it be easier?
Please, yeah, thank you. Cool. No, I think I got him. Yeah. Cool. Will got thoughts on him?
He doesn't work. I know he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've only seen him in Handmaid's Tale, so it'd be a disservice to him to say that's all he can do. But from that, I agree with you. That sort of manic side, I can't imagine him delivering unagi.
No. This is the one I said I struggled so hard with.
Yeah. But
struggles with all of them.
It's a reasonable choice. It kind of looks like he's got the same hair there as David Schwimmer.
Okay, Connor, who'd you pick?
Con.
I picked Tony Revolori.
Sometimes I think you just type in Google actors in their 20s or actors in their 30s.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's what I do every time.
Yeah.
Like,
cool.
Yeah, like, like that's definitely what I do. Yeah, like I do that, but it's not like I'm drawing them out of a hat. Like I have to recognize them.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Yeah, so I remember this guy from
I love how I didn't know who he was and I recommended him the last time.
I was going to say, you said it before.
Yeah, I said him.
So basically, you'll learn what my casting process is, okay? I
go.
Google actors in their 20s, okay? I find this man, I recognize him, copy his name, put it into YouTube, type in the word scene after, because that way you get a scene from a movie. And I found this guy in Spider-Man playing Flash Thompson. I thought, I can see if you skew this in a little way, how it could sound a bit like Ross Geller, because he's kind of like being a smart, like smart idiot kind of, and like in a way Ross is like a smart idiot. He was acting goofy enough that I thought he'd make a decent Ross, so I went for him. That's like the background look of how I cast people as well.
So I vote Will Poulter.
Will Poulter.
Oh yeah,
he's the
yes.
best one.
Yeah, 1000%.
I love your method though.
Yes, like that's how I
Thank you for
survive.
showing your workings.
Yeah. No, 1000%. Like I think yeah, that he will God, what's his name? Will Poulter?
Poulter?
Poulter, yeah, Poulter.
Completely overshadows these two. Like
Yeah,
definitely
he's
make the best
perfect.
Ross. Yeah.
My brother was at uni with him.
With Flex, but okay.
So cool.
Yeah, just but he was like never there and dropped out pretty soon because he kept going to America. I think it was when he was doing the Maze Runner.
Because he's been famous forever. He was in like the Narnia films, stuff like that.
Yeah, and he did School of Comedy for like.
I loved
Yes.
that show.
It was
I
so
used to
good,
watch
wasn't
that religiously. I was so
I don't know
upset
that
that got dropped. It was great.
it still exists, the School of Comedy. They just don't get a TV show anymore. Because like it's a thing. The School of Comedy is a thing. And then they just got the best actor, the best sort of students to create a TV show.
I did not
their
know
sort of
that.
senior class.
I have no idea what this is.
It was like a Channel 4 show, Con, where a bunch of 16,
show?
17-year-olds made sketches.
Huh.
And Will Poulter was the best one on it, to be fair.
The two guys screaming in a van used to.
Oh,
I used
yeah.
to be in a fit of laughter over that, and it wasn't even that funny.
Yeah.
Me and my friend used to quote it in school. Like we'd see each other in school and be like, oh, I might rewatch all that. It was so good.
It was really good.
And he's still like super relevant because he's going to be in Marvel soon, right?
Yeah.
Nova?
Guardians of the Galaxy and.
Is he playing Nova?
No. I know his name, but I can't. It's like a. No, nothing like that. It's like a full-on name. It's like a Warlock.
A Warlock.
Adam Warlock? Is that his name?
Adam Warlock.
That is right?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I have to say, he disappeared in lockdown and he just transformed into, wow. Puberty, like, not even puberty because he's already old. Like, I don't know what hit him, but something hit him right. Like, he came back looking amazing.
If you watch him in We're the Millers compared to now.
I love him in We Are the Millers.
He's hilarious.
I think Maze Runner, he's like in between the two, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
To be fair, once you get the call to be a Marvel, I guess you do have to start.
Yeah, it's
the gym.
Like Chris Pratt. He literally went from like Parks and Rec type character, and then he was like, "Oh, I got to buff up," and he just went.
Yeah, I saw an article the other day. I don't know why I read it. It's really not my kind of article, but it's saying like it was just actors saying why they want to be in the MCU or why they wouldn't want to be in the MCU, and half of them said, "Oh, I just don't want to get into that good of a shape," like because you have to get into like really good shape just to play a superhero, you know.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
John Krasinski talks about how he was considered for Captain America at the same time as Chris Evans, and he went in to try on the suit, and so he had to like strip off. And Chris Evans also stripped off, and he was like, "Nope, this is not for me."
Not gonna work. Yeah, I remember that.
Right, shall we move on to Ross's sister?
Oh yeah,
Monica.
Will, do you want to go first? Because I always go first.
Or
Connor. Because
go on, Con. To replace Courtney Cox, who did you go for?
So what I did is I typed into Google. I went for so this is second to last. Okay, so I was like Rachel.
You were flagging.
Rachel, I firmly wanted to shoot myself. Monica, I was like getting there.
You were loading it.
Like Monica, I was just like, oh, just pick one that like kind of makes sense. So it's not a good Monica, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I went for Emma Watson because I figured she can do like uptight, which is how I see Monica. Like I don't know, like I feel like, I mean, obviously I've only seen who are in Harry Potter, but Hermione is kind of just you know, uptight and intense, which I think is like the key sort of thing to
I
Monica.
don't know if you saw,
Very
Con,
pretty.
but mine and Liv's reaction to you saying you've only
didn't
seen
see.
Emma Watson in Harry Potter was like, are you joking?
What
Like-
else is she in? I mean, you guys might know if I've seen her in something else.
Very
Beauty and the
much.
Beast?
No, I haven't seen
Perks of
Beauty
being
and
Perks
a
of being a
wallflower.
wallflower?
No, haven't
Little
seen that.
Women.
No,
Mhm. The Circle?
no,
Ballet shoes.
no.
Mm.
Only Harry Potter.
Huh.
You really do only watch films when
This-
we make you, don't
this
you?
is the end?
Literally, yeah. Yeah, I watched this at the end. Yep. Yeah,
There
she
you
was
go.
in that. She's
But
playing
she-
I
herself.
found one.
But...
She plays Emma Watson in that.
yeah.
Well, a version of Emma Watson.
I swear, no, didn't. No, that yeah, she was like crazy Emma Watson, right? Because
Well,
half people in that film, they're like exaggerated
She-
in some weird way for comedy.
No,
No,
she was
she's
being.
actually normal.
Was she?
She was like a badass zombie or whatever it was,
Oh,
and
right.
then they're all
We both
huddling
know
around
what
about
scene-
her,
yeah.
and she thinks they're planning on like raping her. or
Oh
something
yeah, I
like
remember now.
that.
I remember.
She's in
Yeah.
the bedroom and she hears them saying about how they're not
Yeah.
gonna rape her. But because all she really hears is, if anyone's gonna rape Emma Watson, it's gonna be you, freak. And they're all like
Yeah.
saying which one's the creepiest
Yeah.
one, and then she comes out and yeah.
I remember now. Yeah, yeah.
That's a very
I
funny
love
scene.
I love that movie. I love Michael Cera in that movie so much. I just love actors playing themselves, and I love how they like made it seem like they were completely different, like in real life. That's a good
Hmm.
film.
Right.
Yes. That's any thoughts on who I casted?
It was a good effort.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can show my workings if that gets me more points.
I want to
10
see
out.
who Will did, because I bet Will, because I struggled a little bit with this actually.
I did
so-
as well. I did.
Oh no,
Monica,
that didn't give me faith.
Sorry. Yeah, for me, I did struggle because
Were you between a few, or did you like have one?
I got one in my mind early on, and I wasn't 100% on it, but I couldn't think of anyone else. So I'm sticking with her, and it's Ariel Winter.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Mm. Oh,
No.
but that's so bad because I don't have good ones. We're not going to have
Nah.
Monica. Right.
She's famous for Modern Family.
Weirdly enough, I had Sarah Hyland as a potential for Rachel.
Yeah, me too.
Same mind.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't believe in this. I don't, but you know, she did play sort of slightly uptight and nerdy on Modern Family. Yeah, that was kind of it.
I can see why. I've seen her on Modern Family. She is kind of like a baby Rachel. I've got one of those coming up, and
Sure.
you're right. It's not satisfying, but it's kind of more satisfying than the other options you have. So I can definitely emphasize with you on this one.
Yeah. Come on then, Liv. What you got?
She could be picked still. It depends on the
Okay.
names.
Yeah, it could be best of the worst bunch.
I had 3. One of them, I'm really confident she could do the character, but I don't think she fits for the rest of the cast. And that was, I stole her from Will's previous casting, and that was Beanie Feldstein.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to go with, and it's controversial, Leah Michelle. Because we've seen her do Rachel Berry, who is that very uptight, controlling type of person who then has a partner who kind of reins her in, and I could see her, but I still don't see it. Why did you pick that picture?
There's something up with Google Images today. It's like really hard to find normal looking pictures of people. For the listeners, we just got some really bad images coming up on screen. So
It just doesn't really look like Leah Michelle. Like we know it is Leah Michelle, it just doesn't really look like her.
It looks like the Walmart version of Leah Michelle. Like that's not Leah Michelle.
Oh, I recognize this woman. She is from Glee. Is that correct?
Yeah, she was Rachel
the thing
Berry.
Liv just talked about. Yeah.
Oh, I was busy trying to find a decent picture. Unsettling.
Well, he was
So you
picking a
failed that.
half-assed picture. Let him off.
So our thoughts on casting here, Will?
Oh, so we
This is
all
bad,
hate
man.
Monica.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, when you said Beanie Feldstein, I was like, oh. And
Yeah,
then-
because I could see her being Will Poulter's
yeah,
sister, but Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Go with Beanie Feldstein.
Beanie
Because,
Feldstein.
you know, I could just see Leah Michelle because she's as I know she's got a lot of
No,
hate.
that's Ariel Wintercon. Beanie Feldstein is someone who we haven't said.
You have to put a new
Oh.
person.
It's a different
Oh.
person.
Need it in the chat.
No, don't give Leah Michelle a trophy. Okay, pick someone.
Yeah, I'll
Okay,
write it in the chat for you, but
withheld. It's being withheld. Cool. Okay, so
Beanie Feldstein, famous for
whoever that is,
Booksmart.
I'm agreeing.
Beanie Feldstein is Jonah Hill's sister.
Oh, we've had her before. Yes.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
talked about her.
she's a good actress.
I considered her for this role, and I did not agree. In fact,
Really?
yep. I watched a clip her on YouTube for about 5 whole seconds, and I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
You didn't watch the right clip then, dude.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But well, yeah. I mean,
she's
I'm
very
not
good
gonna
at
argue.
neurotic.
Okay.
She is. So I could see her being Monica. You know when they're playing that ball game and they're like, Monica, we're hungry. And she's like, prime time hours. Like she's like crazy. I could see her doing that, but I could also see her being intimate and nice with
and also when Phoebe puts down the ball and they're like, oh, and she's like, it's okay.
Only official ball players can drop the ball. I'm like, I could see her doing that. But you can see why I picked Leah Michelle because of that Rachel Berry role. I can see her doing it as well. I just wasn't 100% there with it. Same with her though. Okay. I'm happy with that 3 cast though. It really works so far.
With the what? Sorry?
Yeah, I'm still debating with Emma Roberts.
Oh no, I think Shay Mitchell goes really well with Will. Like,
fair enough.
I can see it.
I can see them as a couple.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Also, she's supposed to be like insanely. Like he's supposed to be this nerd that's pining over a really hot girl. Not that Emma Roberts isn't beautiful, but I see it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay. I want to go last on Chandler because I'm.
No, I want to go last on Chandler.
You want to go last? You go last every time.
No,
that's true.
I went first the first 2 times. Wait, when did I go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Oh man, this is my worst one, guys.
Oh, I want to go last because it's my best one.
Yeah, it's probably best I get this out of the way. So basically, my workings for this one. Okay, I once again Googled frantically, and I just decided I couldn't find absolutely anyone, like oh my god, it was awful. I just decided we're going to change the character of Chandler to be like completely different, but kind of the same in a very small
Rock,
way.
didn't you?
I picked Dwayne the Rock Johnson. No, I didn't actually. I picked. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I picked Pete Davidson.
I literally love Pete Davidson.
Connor,
yeah.
Connor, I picked Pete Davidson.
What? No. Why? It's terrible.
I can. No, it's not.
It's awful. I'm going to argue against this.
I am fully behind you. I'm with you, Con, because
I love him so much.
Yeah,
he can bring Chandler brings such a weird energy. You're right. It's a different kind of weird energy, but it's still
weird energy. That was my thought. Yeah, it's like it would be different, but it would fit the same role in the dynamic of the other cast. I think.
But every time I'm so glad you said it. He's playing himself. Like I can't see. I get it, but I don't see it because he's just playing himself. Like every time he's in a character, he's just like someone who smokes weed and like lives their best life. Like I can't see this.
Oh, you know what? Right. So I was going to sheepishly bring this one up and then like try to pretend it never happened. Now that Will's picked it, I'm fighting for him. Okay, Liv, once you pick yours, honestly, we're going to go to war. Okay, this can be the biggest debate of take through.
Unless Liv blows my mind, because I thought I was being crazy that I couldn't see anyone else other than Pete Davidson. The fact that Connor said it, come on, Liv, blow my mind.
Come on, let's go out punching. Will.
Good for you, Will. You agreed with Connor. That's when you should start questioning it.
I knew I was right as soon as Connor brought it up. Like that is bad logic. Go on, who do you have?
Okay, I picked Joe Keeney, who plays Steve in Stranger Things. He has that lovable Chandler energy, and I will argue this until the end of time. I've seen him in interviews. He's very comical, and he literally went from playing like this. Like I can fully see him in the role. I feel this strongly about Will did about freaking Daniel Radcliffe in New Girl.
And that is why we must destroy you.
No, he can. He's literally.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm not sure because I don't watch Stranger Things. So
Oh no, really?
it is right. It is the guy I was thinking of. Okay.
He's a good. They're even in the same like post.
He's not nerdy enough.
Of course, he is.
Look,
Yeah.
look
How are you trying to tell me Pete is nerdy? Look at him. He looks like he sold
So,
drugs to every
again,
kid in his
different kind of
class.
weird.
No.
so
Have you seen him tell jokes? It's such a weird energy.
Yeah,
It's
so
weird.
so the thing with so Chandler in the show is like a loser, right? Like he comes from like a bad background, like his parents like
He
divorced in
comes
like a really
from a
messy
rich,
way.
entitled background, but he's
Does
wholesome.
he? What?
Yes. His family
Chandler?
are really wealthy, but he's wholesome, Chandler.
Chandler's wholesome, but like he's like self-deprecating because he's got this
Oh
like
yeah, he's
weird
self-deprecating.
energy because he doesn't like talking about his parents' divorce or whatever. Like his childhood was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was the whole point of it.
he
Yeah.
hated his childhood.
No,
Yeah.
but Connor was saying it like he had a real bad childhood, as in he was like poor and grew up. I'm like, no, he had
No,
like
not like wealth.
yeah. No, Pete Davidson. I love him. I love the film King of Staten Island. You don't know how many times I've watched that film. I think he's hilarious, but he's not Chandler.
I YouTube clips of him in what guys want? Is that a film? What is that what it's called?
That is a
Yeah.
film, yeah.
Yeah, where he plays like an office worker, and it just seemed very Chandler to me. Like what Chandler in the way that he does it, but yeah, I
I
think
can just see him in the episode where he takes Monica to work and he has a work laugh. I can just see
Okay,
Pete
I
Davidson doing
can,
it.
yeah. But what you need to consider, Connor, zoom out. Does he work with everyone else? Does he seem like he would date Beanie's character and be best friends with Will Poulter? Or does Joe Kearney seem like he would date Beanie Thing and be friends with Will Poulter? And I know the answer because Connor's already smiling. Connor knows which one works with it.
Pete Davidson, that Gen Z energy.
I was going to say,
this
No.
isn't going to be like 90s, like we're
is
going to go watch the Knicks. Like this is going to be like Gen Z stuff, and you need a guy with like at least 30 tattoos on his body.
this is the
in
first
a
time
cast.
I'm going to have to say then we don't cast either of them because I would not let Pete Davidson be cast.
I think I was thinking the same. I don't think we can because I really don't see your guy like
Oh
at all.
boy, the biggest fallout of Take 3.
What?
Maybe
I mean-
because I haven't maybe because I haven't seen him enough, but what I have seen him in, because he was in like Charlie Brooker's Death to 2020 and 2021. And even in that where he's doing a bit of comedy, no, not my Chandler.
I will say
believe this.
I don't actually mind because I was expecting to go, haha, I'm casting Pete Davidson, we all to laugh about it and not do it. I just love the chaos right now. But
maybe, yeah, we'll move on to.
yeah, shall we flip a coin? We can do like a random like a wheel spin.
because if Pete Davidson wins, I'm gonna cry. I love him. I just don't see him
He
as
doesn't.
Chandler.
We're gonna
Maybe
cry.
if we move on to the other two, and while that's happening, we all
let it
just in
brew
the
in our
back of our
heads.
minds try and think of maybe
I
one
have-
will come up in.
I
And
have
then we
two
do a
other
contest.
on my list, but I just didn't say
Okay.
them. But I don't.
Do you want to say them, and then if one of them,
I don't see them.
scenes?
But I don't see them. I had Thomas. I had Thomas Brody. We really went for different energies for Chandler.
Yeah,
I was seeing Chandler like when he's in that cute phase and he's going out with yeah, I don't see it. He was on my list. And I had Miles Teller as well. Because I could see him use which I thought of Miles Teller in that scene where they do the work class. And I was like,
Sure.
could I see him going like like I could, but then I was like, no, I don't like any of them.
Chandler is the tough one, isn't it?
Wow, I really thought I nailed Chandler. I wish. Joke. But I wish I had just said that. I really,
Lord.
I'm sorry. I really didn't. I'm sorry. It's
This might have
because
been like
I
my
watched The
favorite
Office
one to
then.
read.
So basically, Liv wants to have relations with Joe. What's his face?
Oh no, I meant Matthew Perry as
Oh,
Chandler.
you did mean Matthew Perry.
Yeah. But sorry.
So you specified who? Oh god. Okay.
I mean, every girl thinks Chandler's Chandler back in the day was attractive. Let's just go to Phoebe and then
Yeah.
Joey, and then we'll circle back around.
Then we'll fight to the death. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna go first with Phoebe as well, because so you know when I had the biggest snub of all time in How I Met, no, God, what was the one we did second? New Girl. When I really wanted to cast Okinfenwa. I'm getting mixed up with the football. How do you say her name? Awkwafina.
Aquafina.
Yeah, I basically decided
Awkwafina?
I'm going to try and squeeze her into every casting until we actually cast her, because I really like her as an actress. So I'm saying her for Phoebe because she can do the weird energy, and I think it would actually work. Like, I genuinely do, just because of just because of how weird she is, basically. And I see Phoebe as very much like a comedy actor, and like, again, like kind of like Pete Davidson, like she'd have to make it her own, but I could definitely see her doing like a really funny smelly cat, like that kind of performative type role. Do you get what I mean? Can't see your face.
Yeah,
right now.
I get what you mean. I'm kind of a bit over her. I feel like she's become like Hollywood's chosen Asian.
Well, the problem with that,
Saw
Liv,
a
is
whole
that
thing
I'm going to
about
keep
this.
picking her until she gets chosen.
No,
So
I saw like a whole thing talk about this, saying about how Hollywood has overused her just to make a point of being like, we've cast Asians in every show, and I do think that is the case. Like, she's literally become like this token Asian of Hollywood, which is, but not in a good way. Like, I think she's a good actress, but she's definitely been overused. And I can't really see her as Phoebe, but I don't know what Will's picked, and mine's like, okay, so I don't know. I can see it though, and I can't at the same time.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how you'd feel about my choice. Maybe she's a bit young and not quite right. I see her as a bit of a weirdo with strange energy, but I've picked Chloe Grace Moretz.
okay.
Yeah, I just really saw her as Phoebe. It kind of was one of the more obvious ones to me, really, in terms of when I've seen her in Kick-Ass and Fifth Wave, or that, whatever that movie was called. I think she can just sort of bring that weird energy to it.
yeah, I can see that.
I'm not hugely passionate about this one, but I also felt like it was a good fit. So,
Liv, who do you choose?
I picked Lana Glazer. I sent the name because probably won't be able to sing it. I've seen her in several films, and she always plays this sort of fuck the patriarchy kind of crazy ass person, and she's a stand-up comedian. She's very funny, and I could definitely see her doing the sort of Phoebe, because I was thinking of it in the modern day, like who would Phoebe be now? And she defo would like go to like Phoebe would go like locking herself in front of like animal slaughterhouse and stuff. I could see her playing that sort of crazy kind of but weird character at the same time. And I would believe like that she could play the character that had been on the streets and fended for herself and all that. But yeah.
I think this is one of our stronger three. I feel like any of them could do it.
Yeah.
I'll defend Okamfeno because I know her. I think she could do well. Like, I've forgotten the name. Sorry. And Liv's one. I've never actually seen her in anything, so I can't really speak on her. I will say Okamfeno. I think so. I think what Liv brought up, the fact that Phoebe was homeless. I think Okamfeno could do that well. I'm going to call it Okamfeno. Awkwafina,
Yeah.
not Akinfenwa. Awkwafina. What was I going to say? Yeah, I think the reason she's used in Hollywood so much is because she's like really unique, right? Like she has this really unique character, which I think she brought to like Crazy Rich Asians and stuff, and it's just really funny. So I think there's a reason why she's being used so much. But I would say that she would just bring like, yeah, just like a really good, like she could be like the actual I don't know how to say it. You know how Winston was in New Girl was the actual funny one, like I see Winston and Phoebe really as like really similar roles in that their whole character don't have any sort of meaningful narrative like Ross and Rachel do. They're just there to sort of be fun. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah,
In a
Yeah.
way.
okay, yeah.
And I think Occamfenua could do that really well. So that's all I'll say about that, about Occamfenua.
I
I'm
need
trying to
to.
like
We should have done a tally then of how many different names Connor gave this woman because there's like 20
I was going to call it
pronunciations.
Akinfenwa.
It was like
just easier.
Aquinfenwa, Aquafinawa, Fenwa Aqua. I was like, what are you saying?
I can't do it. It's too hard. Do you guys want to defend yours and try and come up with the best
No,
one?
not really. Of the three, though, I feel like there was a bit of negativity around it. It is probably for me Aquafina, but I do really like Alana Glazer. So I genuinely, I kind of have to abstain because I mean what I said earlier. All three could do it. So.
Oh well, don't say that. But
We're
the
gonna
only
have to
one,
vote
the only
eventually.
one I'm truly like no is. I mean no, because I do like her, but she's the. I really hate what I'm about to say. She's the same in everything I see her in. She plays that chilled sort of like I don't give a fuck type of person, like and like Phoebe's not that person. Phoebe's like high maintenance and kind of not high maintenance. Phoebe's kind of like talks like this because she's like passionate about subjects and like I couldn't see her yelling at someone over like wearing fur or arguing with a squirrel. I don't. I could see. Is she called Chloe Grace Moretz? I can never remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see her. You know, it's weird. I don't really like every film I've seen her in. I'm like, but as Phoebe, yeah, I could see her carrying a guitar around, and yeah, I could see it. I don't know. My fear, right? Phoebe, I feel Connor, you're trying to make Phoebe too funny. The funny one is Chandler,
Yeah.
and so
The funny one is Chandler.
Yeah.
I didn't say funny. I said
Oh,
fun.
do you watch?
In terms of
Fun.
within the show, within the world of Friends,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chandler is the
Chandler is the
comedian.
funny one.
Yeah,
And she's more like makes kind of like little like quips at Chandler. So I don't see her.
okay. I mean, look. So, do you guys notice how I'm trying to defend my own more? Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know what's happening here? I think I'm going to get 0 by the end of this round. So, my God, when it comes, I've got a terrible one for Matt LeBlanc. Like it's awful. I'm going to defend it to the very end. Okay, and we're not going to end the podcast until mine is chosen. But yeah, I don't actually mind doing a pick.
Let's go Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah, I'm up for that. When you said about yeah, like protesting fur coats and stuff, I can see Chloe doing that. So yeah, I'd agree. Cool. Liv, are you agreeing with that one?
Yeah. I prefer obviously I preferred mine, but I prefer her to yours. I'm not going to say her name. Yeah. There's a reason I didn't say the name.
Cool. Okay. Right, Matt LeBlanc. I want to go last because I got an awful one, and I'm gonna just try my best to defend it, and it's just gonna be really.
I'll go first with this because I'm not confident. So I went with Michael B. Jordan. Wow. Yeah, I can see by Will's face. I don't need to know I'm wrong because I know I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good for me. That's good for me.
Yeah. Because I was so sure. My two where I was like, I've got this was Chandler and Phoebe. Like I really thought I had it with Lana. So yeah, and the others.
I don't think Michael B. Jordan could play dumb. Like there's something about him that just seems really like.
Yeah, I really struggled
sharp.
with this.
He just seems sharp when he acts. I don't think he could turn that off.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
I don't want to burst Con's bubble, but I feel like I kind of nailed Joey, but I don't know.
All right, you're gonna have to go down. I'm gonna have to destroy you by words somehow.
I've gone for Noah Centineo, who it's one of those where you see him and you go, "Oh, that guy." He's been in loads of like Netflix movies. I know him from The Fosters, but I think he did. he did a Netflix movie. I haven't watched it, about like where girls pay him and he takes them on dates and stuff, or pretends to be their boyfriend for prom or whatever. I've also seen him play that quite dumb, a bit jockey. And yeah, I just think he could play that sort of how you doing, as well as the wait, what's going on bit. But it's also a bit of a unknown, I imagine, looking at your kind of blank faces. But yeah,
I've no idea who it is.
I
What
think
did you say you've been in
you've
again?
seen him in every Netflix show.
huh?
What's he been in specifically?
Anything on Netflix, they use
Yeah,
him.
he's
They
in
pull
loads.
they pull him out for
Oh, wow.
everything in Netflix.
He's in loads of Netflix stuff.
Huh. So I guess it
Is
depends.
he in
on
Kissing
whether-
Booth as well?
Yeah.
If Friends is
Yeah. No,
Is that him?
that's the other guy. I always get them mixed up. The one who's in Euphoria.
yeah, I think I could tell you that he's not in Kissing Booth because I think Laura made me watch that one.
Isn't
Oh,
he?
sure.
He's in that To All the Boys I've Loved Before or whatever.
Yeah, to All Those I Loved Before. It's something
Yeah,
like that.
I
So
always
does-
get him mixed up with Jacob Elordi. Is he called? Those two I always like.
Is that the one
Yeah.
from Kissing Booth?
Never know which one's which. Yeah, he's the guy in Kissing Booth.
Right.
Yeah.
He's the one with like the dimple in his chin.
Connor
So-
has watched that film.
Yeah, I said.
I do not know if he has a dimple in his.
Laura made me watch it.
Laura made me watch it.
Connor turns
Well-
around, he's got a poster of Jacob of Nate Jacobs in Euphoria. He's like, oh my god. True
No, Laura
love.
made me watch that, and then she also makes me watch something perfect snogging and songs in there somewhere.
Angus songs and
Angus
perfect
Song,
yeah,
snogging.
whatever
That is a
is.
bad movie.
It's-
Oh, it's terrible.
That's a class A movie to watch when you're 13. Oh, you guys talk
Well,
about.
Laura watches it, and she's 24, so
Aggie tried to get me to watch it last year, and I was like, about half an hour in, I was like, I'm not having
You
this.
have to watch it as a young teenager, like learning about it. It was golden then.
All-
But what I will
All
say
I remember
is
is
funny.
they're so unlikable.
Yeah.
Everyone in it, you're just like, I don't. Yeah, that was all I
my
remember.
my friend's having a birthday party in this month, actually, in March, and she was saying about how everybody has to make an effort with their costumes, and so I vowed that I'm going to come as Olive at the beginning, where she wears that giant olive costume, and she was like, if you actually wear that, I will pay you £100. I'm fully going to do it, guys. I'm gonna wear a
Good.
giant olive costume. But yeah, Connor, it's funny how you say Laura makes you watch all these shows, and then she's not here to confirm this.
it's true. Does Laura even exist?
That's suspicious. Laura's fake. Who was
But Laura
that girl?
complains to her friends, "Oh, Connor made me watch Kissing Booth
Yeah,
the 15th time."
again.
Because-
Connor made me kiss that poster of Adam Driver before
She
bed.
probably shares these like she probably actually does share the same frustrations because she's probably saying to her friends like, "Oh, Connor watched Jingle All the Way again," and they're like, "Oh, I bet you're the one who likes Jingle All the Way, Laura."
How
And
have
she's
you
like,
not cast Arnold Schwarzenegger yet? Like, you're obsessed with him.
Yeah, it's true.
Because we keep picking films and TV shows, whereas people in their 20s.
It's true. Yeah.
Damn, you're right. We need to pick an older
Also, yeah,
Yeah.
he's.
show.
Oh, we should recast the Expendables. That would be tough. but that'd
I've
be
never
well worth
seen it.
No, I've
You
never
don't
seen
need
it
to,
either,
just
but-
try and find as many tough guys as possible.
yeah, it'd be like a challenge. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna give my one. I need to have some sort of speech. I need to win this one. Like, okay, right. Okay, so listen, we're recasting Friends. Okay, we need to grow with the audience. So we're not. Where do I take this? Oh, God,
And I feel
okay.
like I'm being sold into a pyramid scheme.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah, spend money to make money.
Boom, boom.
I was trying to think.
Don't even
okay.
think about it. Just say yes. Just say yes.
I gotta do something like that. I gotta hypnotize you. So we're casting it for Gen Z, for not Gen Z, for millennials, okay? And millennials grew up with the Disney Channel, okay? And we need to cast someone from the Disney Channel, because that way more millennials will watch it, okay? So what I propose is we do a callback from the original Friends, and we recast someone who is very
That is
closely
going for Cole or
related
Dylan Sprouse.
to the original cast. Yes. So I think we should cast Dylan Sprouse because He played Zach on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and I would argue that that is like the mini Joey. What's his name now? Joey Tribbiani.
Tribbiani. Yeah.
It's like he's going after girls. He's like he's kind of dumb. Like he's way dumber than his brother. Like he's got his pickup lines, and I think it's only right to cast him as Joey Tribbiani because you're then casting a Sprouse brother who's in the original Friends, and it's good for the target market. So I'm going for Dylan Sprouse.
I'm kind of into it, to be honest.
I don't hate it. I like it.
Whoa, this better not be a pity of it.
No, I can see
No.
it. It's just weird because he played Ben. Like, well, his brother played Ben. But I
could
see
see
it.
that. I could see that happening in real life, though. Like, if say it was to be remade now, it would be Ben. Ben has grown up, and this is him with his friends dealing with today's challenges, and he has all the same like stereotypes of friends, right?
Oh, really?
And he would be the Joey of the group.
I hate to break this to you all, but it was I looked this up when I cast. It was the other Sprouse twin that was in Friends.
Both of them were.
No, it was Cole. Yeah, that's what I just said. I said his brother was in it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I thought they switched.
No, I think just Cole did Friends, but then they in other stuff like Big Daddy, they were in both of them. Like it was both of them.
I love Big Daddy.
Going along with what Will was saying. Sorry to cut you off there, Will.
No, go for it.
Going with what Will was saying. Now Cole Sprouse can make a cameo, can't he? Like we can do an original callback where the Joey stereotype is a twin of. Do you see?
We could do the opposite joke in the one where he's trying to pretend he has a twin and hires Carl, and Carl looks nothing like him. We could have Cole, who does look like him, but no one thinks they look alike.
Yeah, see, it just works, doesn't it? No, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I'm into it. Let's go, Dylan.
This feels like a pity.
It's genuinely for me not. I don't know about Liv.
Nice.
She does pity you a lot, so.
No, I like it. It's genuine for me.
Yes, I got one. I mean the terrible speech probably.
And I think you know what? I was looking at the whole cast, and I was going to try and argue that Lana's picked against Chloe because I didn't think it worked. But now I believe that Chloe and Dylan would work as Phoebe and Joey together.
Yeah.
They'd work really well together. Just not for Chandler.
Yeah, Chandler. So I'm suggesting we've reached the 1 hour mark.
He doesn't work. No, because look at the whole cast and tell me Pete Davidson works, because he doesn't. You guys are just picking him because you love Pete Davidson.
I don't like Pete Davidson. I hate Pete Davidson with a passion.
Whoa.
Pete Davidson's awesome.
I just think he'd work. I think Will's right, like the weird energy.
How old can we go?
How old can we get?
Because I have another one in mind. But
hit us, Will. Say it.
We'll just keep going.
But he's like 39.
Come on, to say it.
Jay Baruchel.
Jay Baruchel.
I don't know who that is. Oh, swelling's not been good today, guys. I might need it in the
know
chat.
how. Will, you need to type in the chat.
Oh, sorry.
I wasn't listening.
Why did the dyslexic have to find them on Google Images? Oh, so close. Do I know him? Him.
Yeah.
Right.
He's fairly well known.
He is. Yeah, he's so old.
Yeah.
He looks about 12 at the same time.
Really, no, he won't. But if they listen to these podcasts, I'm sorry, but Connor going, oh, he's so old. Oh, he's so old.
I'm literally staring at his wrinkles.
Oh, that's an old man.
No, I see him in that what's it called? He's in that film. This is the end until end of the world.
Yeah. He's one of the.
Yeah. I definitely brings the weird energy with like the delivery of jokes. Like it's bang on. It's just the age. The age is the only issue in my eyes. Do we just cast him?
I don't like him.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Can I set a time limit? And if we don't come to an agreement within 5 minutes, we cast Danny DeVito. End of. Can that be a rule?
Fuck's sake.
I'm casting.
Yeah.
I'm casting a timer.
Fine, because before we get to that stage, I will just say let's go with Joe. What's his face? Because I
No.
will not have Danny
Yeah.
DeVito.
You gotta fight to the death, Will. No, I don't have that. You gotta fight to the death, Will. We gotta stick up for our boy Pete.
The other one I had ages ago, but I was like, I'll get pulled up on it because you guys know how much I love him, is Bo Burnham.
Oh, I did think Bo
No
Burnham.
way.
I know.
No.
Why not Bo Burnham?
No. I'm so annoying.
At this
He
point,
could do it though.
Couldn't do
I don't
it.
think he could. I was trying to imagine
think
Bo
he
Burnham
could.
doing it, but I honestly don't think he could because I think he'd sound too smug when he does like one-liners. I like Bo Burnham, but I don't think it'd work for Chandler.
Okay.
Look,
Trying to help us come to a solution here.
I think we should flip a coin. Okay, Liv, I know you
Oh,
don't
wait.
want to flip the coin,
No.
but I would
Hang
argue
on.
it's two
No.
against one.
I've
and
got
therefore,
it. I've got it.
Yeah, go on.
I can't remember his name. Hang on. Give me a second. No, because I've been watching him recently. Sam Richardson.
Sam
Richardson.
Let's see his face.
If you've watched Veep or Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates or anything like that, he's so good at it. And
I've seen him in Mike and Dave. I've seen Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates.
I've never seen him before, but when there's someone I've not heard of, I'm powerless. Like we can just put him in. I don't mind. I can put my trust into it.
I'm watching him currently in The After Party, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like he could.
Oh wait, he might be too old. Sorry, I just saw someone.
Oh, how old is it? Oh,
he's 40. He's older than the other guy. Ben Schwartz.
Yeah, no, that would be a
You
good
could
one.
see him. I just saw his picture and went, "Oh my god, you could play Chandler," but he's too old. Can we use a time machine?
Look, we're gonna have someone who's in their 70s if we don't come up with one in 3 minutes time, guys.
He's so good.
So we found some good ones. They're just too old, and so we come back to these two. I think we should flip the coin. Look, two of us think Pete Davidson. Only one of us think this guy. Liv, I would
hold up. Stop there.
flip.
Stop right there. Will, can you honestly say in your true script writing casting heart, out of seeing the other options we picked, ignoring the age, that you believe Pete Davidson could do the role better than all of them? You could do better than Ben Schwartz, better than the guy you picked, and the other guy you picked. You truly believe that he's better?
Can you just show me the rest of the cast again?
Will said I need to double check before I agree.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
You can't tell me. Wait, sorry.
Needs to be with Beanie
Danny
Feldstein.
DeVito's going.
Connor, you need to go straight across so we can see all of them. We can't see the end one.
Needs to be with Beanie Feldstein. Needs to be best friends with Will Poulter. Needs to have like weird energy. In terms of fitting in with the cast, the best one is that Thomas Brody, I would say. But he's not.
At the same time, though, it doesn't work. Yeah.
No.
He was more picked on like the.
We might just need to put him in, guys. We've got 1 minute and or Danny DeVito's going in.
I swear to God.
I'd be more comfortable putting in Ben Schwartz, and we're saying it's a younger Ben Schwartz.
We actually use a time machine. Okay.
Young Ben Schwartz. I'm just not happy we're doing that because that's cheating.
No, I know, because we haven't. Yeah.
Because we've not done it for everyone else, but Ben Schwartz would fit so well. I can literally
just put him in, and you can just be like the sugar daddy to Monica.
Yeah, it could just be.
Oh my god, guys! Half a minute. Say a name.
No, don't make me.
Joe.
Which one's Joe?
Oh, I was going to say Ben. Okay. Oh.
Which one's Joe?
Ben Schwartz is better than Joe Kearney. See that now.
Yes, he is. But time machine.
Well, so
Oh,
this one.
Yeah, Ben Schwartz. Go for it. Ben Schwartz.
go for it.
All right, Ben Schwartz is firmly in
Recommit.
there. All right, when you hear a beep, that's how far
Also,
away we are
I feel
from.
like it could have been. It'll be comical that Chandler is older, just because, like, like the thing where he hates his job and everything, and yeah, I think it could work.
I can really see Ben Schwartz delivering the line. I understand that, friend, but I'm looking at the weenus and I'm not happy.
Yeah, I can see him.
You guys hear that
Well, we
beep?
were close. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been Danny DeVito time, guys.
I love the way that's the pressure we're put under, that if we get to that point, you're going to throw Danny DeVito in, and we only have ourselves to blame.
I'm putting it out here now. That cast, an F.
Fair.
I'll
It's
be
not far
honest.
off, Liv. It's not great. I think an F is harsh. I
Other
want to
than Will
say
Poulter, I don't think any of them are perfect.
yeah. I want to say D plus in my eyes, but Liv, what do you think?
I would have said, yeah, I'll give it a D plus. The only two I genuinely really think fit the roles are Rachel and Ross. You tell C, and I was like, obviously we know the issues we had with Chandler. And you know what the problem is? They fit in pairs. Joey and Phoebe fit together. Ross and Rachel fit together. Chandler and Monica don't fit together. But then as a group, they don't fit.
Yeah.
Will do you want it to be D plus or a D since you think it's an F?
D minus.
It
Or
has
just
to
a
be
minus.
D minus.
Fine, D.
Yeah, it must
D
work
minus.
out as a D
Then
because
just
me
do
and Liv think D plus.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a D. It's a D.
God, I feel the pressure now for Connor's thing. If we
For
did that
what?
bad with that. Your recast thing.
the
We did-
mystery recast.
Oh yeah, the one I
Yeah.
came up with 5 minutes before the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so let's be ashamed of ourselves. That was horrific, guys.
Yeah, apologies.
No, I think I didn't get to see who. So yeah, I think Will Poultner would be like, yeah, I think that's the one we did best.
Yeah.
Other than that, yes, no, it's tough. It's a rough cast, guys. Yeah, major age issues. I mean, at least we'll save some money with Dylan Sprouse, right? He can't be paid that much these days.
he's quite a famous like model or something, isn't he now, Dylan?
Is he? Wow.
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure
he's
one of them became a game.
He's dating a famous model, but he's back into acting, right?
I know Cole is.
what
I didn't know about
saw.
Dylan.
No, yeah, Dylan's in a new film that came out like last year. 2 films last year, maybe.
One of them
Fair
became a
enough.
game developer for a sweet minute. Not sure which one. I think it was either on Cole's Sprouse.
Anyone can do that.
Right, are you ready for Connor's mystery recast?
Let's do it.
All right, this is the one that this is like the most obvious one you can do. So I've kept it in my back pocket and I had to use it today because I
Can I guess?
Yeah, go on, guess who. What?
Recast the Prime Minister.
Yep. Recast the Prime Minister.
No.
Exactly that. It's the obvious one. Yeah, so remember, this is one where we're casting characters as real life roles.
The Prime Minister for our country, like
Oh,
England.
that's a good UK live, but yeah, we'll go UK.
Sorry,
The UK Prime Minister.
we both
Yeah.
know that everyone else doesn't accept us, so yeah, sure, UK, but England.
Right, okay. So
Maybe
we need
a
a
minute.
character who
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, so basically I picked the Prime Minister because it was the most obvious one, right? So
Yeah.
I
I've
just
got it.
thought okay, I was trying to buy you time, but it's good that you got
Right.
it instantly.
You go for a live and talk through
Yeah.
yours while I think of one.
I know that it's gonna be Will's gonna win, so I'm gonna go for Michael Scott. Purely based on the fact that the entire show he can never make a decision. He goes back and forth so much. He has to get other people to come into his office to help him decide on what to do. And the absolute sheer comedy, you know, that scene where he's just looking through like the slats in so many scenes in his office. Imagine 10 Downing Street, like the people reporting outside, they're like, no word yet from the Prime Minister, and you can just see him like looking like through the things out the
Peeking behind a
window.
curtain.
Yeah. And also because of when Dunder Mifflin's going under and he has to go and talk at that thing and he does the spin and the point. I want to see this in House of Parliament. Go with Michael Scott.
Wow, this
Right.
one raises so many questions of how I'm going to pick, because like in terms of like, yeah, how the Prime Minister acts generally, yes, Mike Scott is a very good fit.
He's
Like,
good.
it's very much the same vibe.
It depends if you want the country to go into ruin or not, I think is.
Country's
But
already
yeah,
in ruin, Will.
do I want it accurate to how the Prime
Yeah.
Minister is, or do I want a competent Prime Minister? But I don't know who you have first. Will, have you got one?
I do have one now, yeah. Ron Swanson.
Again.
He would be good.
He would be good. It's
Oh,
quite
yeah.
ironic because he hates government.
Yeah.
So I can imagine him like coming with loads of like ridiculous bills, but also like really simple ones that like getting rid of old ones that make no sense, but for some reason are still part of our law. And bringing in really simple ones where it's like, oh yeah, of course we should do that. And like I feel like he could solve financial problems like that. I feel like he would just go, just.
This choice has the same energy as when someone says you can copy my homework but make it look different. Like completely at the end of the show. You've got and Connor picked the perfect pictures for their personalities, like Ron's, and then Michael's like, yeah, Brexit.
Michael's doing like the rock sign, yeah. No, Ron Swanson looks very stoic.
Do we have joint prime minister?
Like, like the Office episode where it's Mike's tots or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You can imagine like Michael as Prime Minister being like, yeah, we'll do a referendum. Yeah, fine. I'll do as you say. And then it's like Brexit. And they're like, right, you have to do what we said. Oh.
Yeah, it would be like that episode where he does the spin, where he's like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go away. We're going to come up with a 20-day plan. And everybody's like, woo! And he's like, yeah. And then goes away and he's like, what's the plan? What's the plan, guys? So funny. I can see Ron as well. Good choice.
Okay, so I've come to my decision. Okay, yeah. So the issue with Ron, the big issue, the glaring issue, is Ron loves Scotland, right? For the whiskey.
He does, yeah.
He goes to the Isle of Islay or whatever, and
so
the problem
I think
is that
he could get Scotland on board.
Yes, but this is the issue. I want to cast like an accurate prime minister, and the prime minister does not care about Scotland, whereas Ron Swanson really would.
Well, I'm not going to tell you how to do your job, Con, but surely the whole point of
I'm
like when we
confused.
recast things, it's for the best. We're trying to find the best Joey, the best Phoebe. So now we're trying to find the best prime minister.
So the best, like Ron Swanson would be the most competent prime minister, and the problem is that I want to go for Michael Scott because it's so accurate and such a good fit with how the prime minister actually is that I want to go for him. But yeah, you're right. It should be the most competent prime minister.
What? No.
Yeah,
when we have to recast the what's it called? It's a football thing. I picked Ted Lasso.
United manager.
Like we also picked some ones that it's for sheer comedy. I picked the bloody Roses to be the royal family. Like they would never succeed as the royal family.
They would be more competent than the Griffin family. And then Ron Swanson, I think I said he'd be better because he actually is a good coach in the show. And then so at the minute, and then I remember we said.
But you didn't go for Ted Lasso when we did
that. No, you went.
You went for
Ted Lasso,
Alan. You picked mine because you said Alan would be hilarious.
But that was because Connor wanted Manchester United to fail. So at this stage, does Connor want the UK to lose all relationships with other countries? I know they're tenuous at best anyway.
Yeah, but
does he want us to go into even more financial ruin? Does he want us to be? Go.
Connor is Welsh, and doesn't Ron say something about Wales in the show? Like he literally says how he doesn't like the UK. He sees no point in going there, but he likes Scotland. We don't want a prime minister who only supports Scotland and does things in their best interest.
No,
And he
The-
won't do anything in the interest of Wales. You don't think Michael Scott would come to Wales and do a tour and do like a whole thing around? He would be in everyone's best interest because he's always trying to please everybody. And yes, he fails sometimes, but sometimes he comes out on top.
It's hard. I'm just gonna have to pick one, and then we're gonna have to like define the actual rules after. I think I did go for best fit. Right. So I think Ron Swanson would be a competent prime minister, right? Like Will's right. He'd solve every financial issue. He would actually care about Scotland and maybe even Wales. Who knows? And so my head is going for Ron Swanson. My heart is going for Michael Scott. And I think
Ron says he hates England in the show.
Yeah,
How can he be prime minister?
No,
Sorry.
so I'm saying I like my heart is
Sorry,
Michael Scott.
so sorry.
Yeah.
If we're going on, what the characters say in the
You're
show,
gonna talk about where it goes. China's England, America's number one. China's number two. He goes not number two. England's number two. Exactly. So Michael values this as the second best thing in the world, meaning that he would treat us.
They're both. Whoa, hang on. Ron Swanson is very
right,
American.
I'm gonna mute myself now. Right, I'm gonna mute myself. Will, mute yourself. Let Connor pick. Mute. Just mute. Will, mute.
No, we'll say your last thing.
All I wanted to say was, if we're going off what people say, Michael Scott and the things he says, not very prime ministerial. I'm up.
They're very prime ministerial. Like I've like from the things that the prime minister has like said in the last 2 years, I think Michael Scott would do some very similar things. I'm going to go with my heart on this one. I'm going to go with Michael Scott because I do think so. The thing that made me change my mind is when we backtracked to the manager one, and I told Will to pick one that would make Manchester the best, and then Liv to pick one that would make Manchester the worst, so sabotage them. I think I just need to pick like my favorite pick, like the one that is the best for like just the prime minister in like the most entertaining way possible. And I think that is Michael Scott because he does do some very prime minister things. I think he'd go very well into politics because that you can unmute now, by the way. It's over, I'm afraid. Will can you remember the one where he gives a speech because you have to help me out with it, what episode it was. It's something like Dunder Mifflin is going under and it's going bankrupt, and they have to like make a speech to the shareholders. And Mike Scott thought it was going to be.
Said this. I've literally. This is what I've been talking about the whole time.
That's
where he does the spin and he. No, that's when he does the spin and he like stands up and says they're going to come up with a plan.
It's very like prime minister-esque. So I'm going with Michael Scott just because he seems like he would fit the sort of role that the current prime minister.
Yeah, fine. You want more Boris Johnson? No, fine.
William, stop it. He would be good.
He would be an awful prime minister, and that's why I'm picking him, basically.
The country's already in ruin. Let us have some fun.
Yeah. Can't get any worse.
Okay. I'm trying to save our country.
Ron Swanson would have it fixed in 2 weeks.
He really would. But it would be scary measures he'd take. Like he would literally just look at all these programs and be like,
I'm saying now, if Ron Swanson had been in charge, we would have been in lockdown with New Zealand. We would have been like that.
Yeah, we would have. Michael, we would still have COVID spreading around like wildfire.
Well, it still is. I can imagine Ron Swanson like sat at his desk and like showing like the statistics of what he's done in the last 2 weeks and how he's fixed the UK, and then saying how he even made the desk that the computer is on, and he found time to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Oh God, that was.
I realized I cast Gunther just because I wanted to.
Oh, go on. Who did you cast as Gunther?
I picked Michael Cera because like he would be the most perfect. Like, can you imagine him when Rachel came in and then like when he says stuff under his breath? I was imagining him in Superbad where he's like talking to Becca and she goes bye and he's like bye and like Paul walks away. I could see him running the coffee shop. It would be very funny.
I can picture him holding Rachel's cat and
like,
all her stuff like, okay.
Yeah.
The cast has now gone from a D, like a low
To an A+.
almost a D- to almost a D+.
Yeah.
And not to change it.
As always, saved by Michael Cera.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, I'm exhausted.
That was one of our
Time to
most
end.
passionate ones,
Yeah.
I think. Certainly
We
with the
all-
recast, the
We all
mystery
nearly
recast.
fell out.
We fell out over Chandler.
That was great.
Was
That I think Chandler's been my favorite one to cast of all time. That was really fun. I mean, obviously, like it was painful casting before the podcast, but during the podcast, that was so fun. I love that.
What else is Pete Davidson in? Because I've literally seen him in 2 films. I just wondered.
I have no idea. I've not seen anything.
Connor, you
Always
need to watch King of Staten Island. You'd find it very funny. It's
Oh,
such
yeah,
dark
shit.
Always Be
humor.
My Maybe? Is that the one he's in?
No,
He's in-
that's
No,
Willy Wong and thingy.
he's in some sitcom. Oh, I Want You Back. It's a new one on Prime.
Oh,
Watch it, it's
okay.
funny.
I'll watch it. Yeah, Connor, you'd really like King of Staten Island, right? It's such dark humor. Like he
Mhm.
literally, the film starts, he's like at a party and he's talking about how his dad died. Because this girl's like, oh, what's that tattoo on your arm? And he goes, oh, it's the date my dad died. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He goes, no, don't be. It's like fucking ages ago. And this guy at the party goes, knock, knock. And he's like, who's there? And he goes, not your dad. And he's like, ah, and it's the darkest humor. Like you feel so uncomfortable. It's really funny.
No, I should watch it. Someone else has recommended it to me as well. So yeah, I really should.
It's that
He's in
awkward.
Trainwreck. He's in Set It Up.
Is he? He's in Trainwreck.
I've only seen that once.
Oh, well, I mean, his thing is Dr. Connor's patient, so I don't think it's a
right.
big role.
Okay.
Oh.
He was
Who
in an
else is
episode of
in
Brooklyn
Trainwreck?
Nine-Nine.
Are we going to stop recording now?
Yeah, we should probably stop recording.
Because
Yeah,
we've
sign
been
off.
here for a long time.
Thanks for listening. We're just talking about Pete Davidson now. Thanks for listening, everyone, or watching, however you are absorbing this. See you all next time on Take 3. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.